I'm taking them. I was just telling Macy that I was just having a quick dance party before she got on because I saw you were dancing on your Instagram earlier and I was dancing. So,
Yep. And True Face by Mace fashion, it's like so opposite and so funny because I'm raging to like dubstep and then I'm taking a client with like relaxing music 2 seconds later. We
yeah,
love living, living multiple lives. It's fine. It
it's
works.
just like duality, like, right? You got to have like light and dark or like up and down. Um, Speaking of up and down, before we start, I uh are you into like oracle cards, like tarot? Do you like know anything about them?
I am open
Okay.
if you want to spill some facts. I'm
Well,
open.
I literally just pulled a card for you
Okay.
before we started recording just for funsies.
Yeah,
Just for funsies. I've been like kind of getting into this and I was like I feel like Macy would be open to this. So,
I am.
okay. So I just was like asking, I was like, okay, what does Macy need to hear today? So let me read you what I got.
I'm
Okay,
excited.
this is I think I'm saying this right. It's Genevieve and it's True Love.
Okay.
Okay, and it says the romantic stirring in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you.
Oh, I love that.
Right?
She kind of looks like she's holding a cat in that. Is she or
I'm
no?
dead. No, I think she's holding flowers, but let's pretend it's your cat.
That like at first glance,
It's
because I know
you.
it look, it's giving flowers or it's giving cat.
It's giving flowers and a cat.
Yes, I love it. Cute. Thanks for sharing that with me.
Yeah, it just says like your the meaning of the card. It's like your soulmate has arrived or is arriving soon, but I think, maybe you're already found your soulmate.
Yes,
Renewed passion in existing relationship. Maybe it means you're a romantic person.
I'm
There-
not, but I'm trying to be.
Okay,
So
so maybe it's like saying like it's okay to like be romantic because you haven't been, or like maybe you haven't felt comfortable with it. I don't
yes,
know.
we need a little bit more passion and spice in my life. I'm a Cancer,
Okay.
so I just always thought I'm like I feel like I should be a Scorpio or a Leo or something. Like I'm just too fiery to be a Cancer. But I got like my full reading. I had a friend of mine
Okay.
actually in esthetician school, and
Okay.
this girl, she would bring a full on freaking guava and put like lime on it every morning. She was so rad, like just
Okay.
hopeless, like
That
hippie
sounds
girl.
delicious.
She was awesome. I was like, I'm obsessed with you. But she like did my full, what is it called when you get your whole thing read? Like,
It's just like you got your chart read?
yes. Okay. I
Yeah.
think that's what it was
Yeah.
because I'm Cancer. So I was literally all Cancer with Scorpio
Oh.
rising. And I was like,
Oh.
oh, okay. That makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, right. Once they like read it to you, you're like, oh, I get why I am the way I am.
Yep. Yeah. Like, because I'm not, like, when you think of Cancer, they're very emotional beings. They cry a lot. They're very, like,
Mm.
romantic. And I'm not. Like, I'm super independent and I cry once a year, you know?
But you said you're
And
Scorpio rising?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense why.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like
like,
passionate. Like, as far as emotional, I'm like passionate about my career, my relationships,
yes.
stuff like that.
You're just
So,
not like mushy gushy.
so
I'm
maybe
not
that
either.
card is like, I need to be a little bit more mushy gushy.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm like, ew. But yeah, maybe that's what it means. But I'm so excited to have you here on the podcast. I feel like this has been like a long time coming.
Yes, indeed.
I can't even remember. I'm like, how did you just come up to me at like the Vegas show? I'm like, how did we meet in person? I feel like that's
Definitely
on
that.
brand. Yeah.
Definitely that. So actually, I came to know you from one of my friends. Her name's Maddie, and she actually was the person that got me into like she's not an esthetician, but she's
Okay.
super into like the skin stuff and everything. And so we started going to an esthetician when we were in college in Idaho. And one of her friends for her bridal shower, because she's from California, went to you for like a spa day, like a bridal party spa
Okay.
day.
Okay.
And I was like, this girl is so freaking cool. Like she's a celebrity. I'm obsessed with her. And then fast forward, I become an esthetician and then I saw you at the Vegas show and I'm like, I have to say hi to her because I don't know, we like similar music a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes we dress similarly. I'm like, I
I
feel like we
mean,
vibe.
I'm wearing color. I literally wore my most colorful shirt just for you today.
I'm honored.
You'll love this. I wore this shirt to EDC.
Oh, you
So it
did.
has like my EDC energy.
I love
Um,
it.
but anyhow, if you guys don't know Macy, Macy, would you introduce yourself? Tell
Yeah.
them, like, you're an esthetician. Tell us how long you've been an esthetician, all the good things.
Sure, let's go through the whole timeline. So, I went to esthetician school in 2021 and I was a part-time student. So, I live in Utah and our whole situation is 1,200 hours. So, it's a long time. So, I
That's
was at
so long.
school. Yeah, but I learned everything.
No,
That's
I
what's
love
so
that.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it gave me, so I was there for 1,200 hours, but I was part-time. So I was at school for actually a little bit over a year.
Hmm.
And during school, I had built up my social media a lot. I networked with a lot of estheticians here in Utah and outside of state and stuff like that. Then I graduated, and actually one of my like pen pals from Instagram became my boss, and she opened up a storefront, and I was her first esthetician. And then she hired on like a whole team. So I worked for a med spa right out of school. And then I quickly decided that I hated being told what to do. And so
Like
I
so
was
many of
there
us.
for I was there for a whopping 4 months, and I said, yeah, I'm out of here. So, but it was really, I mean, I gained a lot of knowledge from that experience, and I highly recommend that, going outside of school, working for someone a little bit, because
Yeah,
you're making mistakes under their dime. Like,
100%.
you are their liability.
It's
So,
like an extension of school.
yeah, yes, exactly. So, I mean, and here's the thing, people love working for someone. Like, being solo is not for everyone at all. It
No.
is not for the faint of heart. So, I'm not telling everyone, oh, screw the industry, like, go solo. I mean, I understand that that's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it was my cup of tea and it was just meant to be. And so, I went solo. April of last year, and I've never looked back. So, I'm in a little suite. It's a small room, and actually, I'm still in that room, even though I have so much freaking retail and I've outgrown it, because 90% of my business is virtual, which is something that we are going to talk about on the podcast a little bit, which I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm
So,
super
what that,
excited.
yeah, I'm like, oh, I love it, because I feel like I'm noticing a shift in this industry where, like, people are kind of gravitating more towards the virtual side and just getting people on really bomb home care and like facials as needed, or if they want to come in consistently, like just being more flexible with it. Of like, I'm a
Of
big girly
course.
with product. Like, you got to be on a good regimen, you
Yeah.
know? So, and here we are now. So, I do lots of fun things. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. But yeah, I think we should just dive right into the virtual esthetician. I
Love
think
it.
it is the wave of the future. I don't think I would be here without all like the virtual things that I've done, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Like it's
Yeah.
great to like work hands-on, like in person. Like there's something that'll like it'll never take away from that, but it's something that you can like add on, and there's so many ways to like help more people with their skin, increase revenue. So can you share like your top three things that you're doing right now as like a quote unquote like virtual esthetician? Because I feel like you're the future, you're doing it already. Like, and there's so many people out there that want to, but they don't know where to start. So share like three things to start, and that'll probably
It's going to turn into a 3-hour conversation.
exactly.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, yeah. So, like I said earlier, like 85 to 90-ish% of my business is virtual. So, number one, the first thing that you can do to start being virtual is doing virtual consults. So, I do virtual consultations with clients. I started doing that. I even did that when I was at the med spa I was at. And that is, if you live in Alaska, if you live in California, if you live in Maine, I can talk to you and I consult you and I ship you product. And I could talk about this system in a minute if you want to. But my consults are basically about 40-ish minutes. We talk on FaceTime, we get you on a regimen, I ship it to you. So that is number one, is just doing virtual consultations with clients. My
Okay.
number two is e-commerce. So I have a website, and I'm telling you right now, if you guys are trying to make money in your sleep and be out of the treatment room more, you need a website where you can just have all of your product in one place. Everything's organized, everything's laid out. It's very easy to use. They can just buy it super quick. It's that client convenience. So the e-commerce and like shipping out product is definitely number two for me. And
Okay.
then number three, I recently started an Instagram subscription. So I built up my Instagram, like I said, in esthetician school, and that's something that like I've really honed in on, is my branding and my aesthetic and my Instagram and social media and all of that, because it's truly such a powerful tool, and it's essential in today's
Yeah,
day and age to have an
it is.
Instagram. I mean, Instagram's the new Google. So I started a subscription because a bunch of estheticians were like, dude, like, I want to know all your little tips and tricks. How did you make that post? How did you make that story?
They were
How do
asking.
you, yeah, like, how do you
Yeah.
get care of you clients in your treatment room? Like, how do you clean your facial tools? What towels do you use? I'm like, let me tell you. So it's just like little, 2-minute videos I post on there daily. And so I have a subscription, and that's been so great too, because I'm helping people, and it's just something so simple that I'm consistently giving my community every single day.
Well, and it sounds like you're just listening, right? You're listening and there's like people that maybe aren't in your town so they can't get a facial from you, so you're doing the virtual consults, right? And they want product, so you're selling them product. And then there's estheticians asking you for tips. So I feel like I tell people all the time, and tell me what you think about this, is like just listen to your audience, and I think you're so good at doing that and like and then implementing it. Do you have any tips for someone who's like just starting out, they're overwhelmed, like they're scared of social media, like they're scared of Instagram, like where do you think they should start?
This is like such a cheesy response, but honestly, getting a mentor of some sort. So whether that's talking with me, that's talking with Casey, there are so many estheticians that are so informative. And like I always say, stay a sponge. That's something that I've always said, stay a sponge. Like we hear all the time, continuing education, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. There's always so much to learn. So when you're going on your own, you don't know where to start, you're overwhelmed, you want to start your socials, you need to talk to someone that's an
Mm.
expert in that to
Mhm.
give you a course of action that is going to set you up for success. Because I mean, really half the battle though is you just have to start. It's the same thing with like if you don't want to go to the gym, half the battle showing up. It's just like getting there, and then once you
Yeah.
start, you like find your groove. So that's like pretty much half the battle. But having a mentor that can talk you through it and talk about a game plan is so helpful. And that's something that I did, and I knew I had to do when I started out, because I wanted to save myself time. Like I wanted a
Yeah.
shortcut to success. I didn't want to just like play this guessing game and stick spaghetti to the wall and hope something sticks. I asked the experts in my industry, and it really set me up for success. So it's like a full circle moment, because now I'm like that mentor for people. So it's kind of
I love
cool.
that. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Isn't that a good feeling? You should be proud of yourself.
Oh, I love it. It's so fun. And I'm learning new things every day. And like they inspire me too. And it's crazy because like
I
I'll be
know.
talking to people with full on storefronts with like 10 employees, and they're like, help me. It just goes to show it's really humbling. Everyone always needs help in some way or another. And so having a mentor to help you through that is 10 out of 10 recommend.
And I think it's just like bouncing ideas off of someone who like understands what you're doing, like your industry. Like you're saying, like you learn from everyone that you're mentoring. I feel the same way. Like I've learned so much from you guys, and like I'm so grateful for like you're helping me. I'm like, no, you're helping me like just as much. Like I really feel like it's a beautiful like give and take relationship.
Yeah. And
So
I feel like it's like even just getting validation from an
yeah,
outside source. Like, so
yeah,
my specialty with a lot of my mentor consults is branding. So the
right.
aesthetic of your social media, the color, the font, how does my bio look, stuff like that. And maybe their bio looks fine and it gets the point across, but how can we make it better? Like, what
Yes.
am I missing? And a lot of times people will come into the calls with me, they'll know exactly what they like. Oh, I like clouds. I like purple. I like bubbles. Like, they know what they like, but I help them translate it and like put it all together, and I help them move forward with all these ideas in their head. How do I translate that into something? And so really I've learned with a lot of those types of calls is you just need validation from an outside source that understands, and it's like a very niche industry, because like you could ask your husband, how does this look, and he's going to be like, it looks
It's
fine.
great. It's
Yeah,
great.
like did I spell antioxidant right? Who freaking knows? He's not going to know.
Yeah, I think like validation and like a little hand holding because like you've done it yourself, and just like it's just like you're helping these people pull the trigger.
Mhm.
So do you feel like from doing your subscription that has helped you like find people to mentor, or like they're finding you, I should say.
Yeah, because it's kind of like your little, I don't know. I was going to say gateway drug. I'm like, that might be inappropriate. It's like your
Not
little,
for you and I.
It's like your little sprinkle into something so much better. Because, like, really, if you
Yeah.
look at it, my subscription is $20 a month. That's literally two Starbucks drinks. And I'm
Right.
posting every single day on it very exclusive content of like how to create certain things. And like a lot of people, they won't even answer those questions. They gatekeep. And like, I don't
Yeah.
want to gatekeep. I want to help people because there's plenty of success and prosperity to go around. So, yeah, well, it'll kind of like give them a little taste of who I am, what I stand for. Maybe I'll be a good fit, maybe I won't be. I'm like a lot for people. I'm super fiery, and so like if I'm going to be overstimulating you, maybe I will not be the right mentor. And I'm very
Right.
realistic in how I go about things, and I'm not as like cut and dry disciplined. It's what is going to work best for you, what's going to be realistic for you.
Yeah.
um and then a
But
lot
that's
of times, yeah, they're like, I want more, let's do a call, and I'm like, I'm down.
right. So they're like getting a vibe for you from your social media, from your stories, and then further from your subscription. And then once they get like a good vibe for you, then they're typically booking with you.
Do you
And you
have a
said
subscription?
I do, but I'm not you've been inspiring me. Like I have not
Mhm.
been utilizing it as much as I should, but as you know, there's like only so many things that you can do, and I am a little bit older than you, and I've just been going through I'm starting to like turn up speaking of fire, I'm turning up the heat with like how I'm putting myself out there personally or professionally.
Mhm.
Hence like why you're here on this podcast right now. I have other people lined up, like people you're going to
Awesome.
start seeing me more a little bit more. So I think, I keep seeing your subscription and I'm like I should probably do what Macy's doing. But it's like one thing at a time. I'm like rethrowing myself into the podcast first and my summit and all these other fun things, but I think it's really like inspiring. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
Um
and there's that never-ending checklist, right? And sometimes you just need to write down
yes.
all these crazy ideas that you have and chip away at it. And like with me, with all of this stuff coming together, and you kind of touched on it earlier of listening to my audience, seeing what they need.
Yeah.
This is the funny thing is when I graduated school, I didn't want to go solo. I didn't have in my mind, oh, I'm going to be my own business owner. You know what? It sounds great that I can clock in, clock out, everything's taken care of, all the overhead. I don't want to worry about all this extra mishmash. I'm going to just work for someone. Then I realized, I'm kind of getting screwed over. I'm going to go solo. And then I went solo and I have in my mind, oh, to be successful, I need to have 10 clients back to back to back
Right.
all day, like only in person. And then I was disappointed when I was seeing that it was going more virtual. And I was like, but this is organically happening for me. Like maybe this is like what is meant to be.
Mm,
And then people started asking me to mentor them in consult calls. And then people started asking me to do a subscription. And so I've kind of just like leaned into that and been like, well, there's a desire for it. It's not like one person's asking me and I'm just like balls to the walls, let's do it, YOLO. Like it's like by the time I get my 30th DM of maybe you should start a subscription, I'm like, all right, fine.
but that's so good. Like you're listening and then taking action. But I do want to go back. You said you didn't want to go solo, and then you were also kind of bummed out when you started getting the virtual consults at first. Can like you share why were you bummed out? Was it because you like had a certain vision, like you're back to back 10 clients and it wasn't working out that way? Or
Well, I think this was a really big lesson that I learned my first year in business is, and I've heard this so many times, but sometimes you just have to go through it or hear it from a specific individual for it to just click in your mind.
yeah,
But success looks different for everyone. So, success
100%.
to one person might be having literally one client all week,
Yeah.
or maybe they are back to back booked with 30 clients and they're doing 30 Brazilians a day. I mean, that's just literally insane for me to fathom, but they love it, they do it, that's success to them. Or
Hmm.
maybe success to someone is putting food on the table or it's freedom. It looks different for every single person.
Yeah.
And so for me, I was just like, really, and I'm someone that's such a confident individual, but I can't help but compare myself to others sometimes, of course, because
Of
we're
course.
all human.
Yes.
And I would find myself comparing myself to people that, well, they have, 8 hydrofacials today. Like they're killing it. And like I'm literally posting every single day. Like I'm putting myself out there, I'm promoting my services, I'm doing specials, I'm doing this. And like, why is it not clicking for me? and but then at the same time I'm getting hella like virtual clients, and so I'm like it's not clicking, it's just people want me for something else, like maybe they don't
Yeah.
want me to be the facial queen, I'm meant to be someone else. And so I kind of just let go and I was like, we're gonna do it, and it worked out. So
I was gonna say the more that it seems like you let go, and from my own personal experience, the more that I let go of like my idea of what I envision my life and my business and success to be, and kind of lean into like the path that I'm on, I feel like the more success that I've had. So it sounds like you experienced the same thing.
and it's never ending. It's like,
Yeah.
here's the thing with having a business is everyone says, "Oh, having a business is so hard." And I'm someone that hates the word hard. I'm like,
Hmm.
how hard could it be? Like, I'm going to prove all of you guys wrong. Like, I love, challenging myself. I love doing something scary. Like, how hard could it be? You know what makes a business hard is it's the time. It's the time, and it takes so long to grow, and like you don't know what tomorrow looks like. Like, you don't
Yeah.
know if people are going to repurchase that serum for you. You don't know if they're going to come back. Like, it's literally, you have to be a whole other level of Delulu to be a business owner. It's crazy.
You do, and there's gonna be things that happen that you had did not plan for and you had no idea were like gonna be a road bump. And I think if you can like breathe through them and figure them out, and again, like the more that you go with the flow, the more success that you can bring in instead of being like, I have to book 10 hydrofacials or I'm not a successful esthetician,
Yes,
because it's just not
absolutely.
true. Now, even though you said that like that wasn't your initial vision, do you feel like you're on the right path? Like, are you enjoying being a virtual esthetician? Like, are you just like, it seems like from me watching, it seems like you're fully leaning in. You're like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Like, I fucking love it. I'm posting all day, every day. And like, that's just like your jam. Like, you're happy doing it.
Yeah, like people ask me all the time, how do you post so many stories? I'm like, dude, I like it. It's like a
Yeah.
daily vlog. It's just
Yeah.
fun for me. It's effortless. And also it's habit because I've posted every single day since I started my Instagram, 3 years ago. And so it's just become like this thing. But yeah, I'm extremely happy with where I am right now. I think just something that I suck at is like enjoying the present and living in the moment or whatever, and just like accepting it for what it is, because I'm always like, what's next? I'm always,
Yeah.
it's that question in my head of like, well, I'm not going to be in this little 90 square foot space forever. What's next? Obviously I want to move somewhere else. Where is that going to be? Like, there's
Totally.
just so many questions in your head constantly. And it's like, you just need to chill for a second.
So yeah, I mean, you just need to take your own advice, it sounds like. But I relate to that so hard because like when I started, like when I was first starting out like you, it was like, what's next? What's next? I want more. I want more. Where am I gonna be? And
Hmm.
then like I got there. I'm here now. I'm like, wait, this is great. Like,
Yeah. But
but
like what I love so much about being a virtual esthetician is, so the main reason why people open up their own businesses a lot of time is freedom of like having
for
freedom
sure.
to make your own schedule, financial freedom, whatever that looks like for people. And that is something I love about being a virtual esthetician is I can have my slow mornings. And so I go to the gym, I take my time, I get ready, I get content, get that ready to go. I'm hanging out with my cat, I'm doing all these things, and I don't even have to take my first client till 10 at the earliest, and a
Right.
lot of times they don't even book until later in the day, or maybe I have a call. So like, even though I'm doing the same things every day, it's also like every single day is different, and so it keeps it exciting.
Fresh.
And I'm free. It's like if my family comes in town, I can hang out with them. I can't be like, oh, I can't do that because I'm locked and loaded. I have 20 shifts this week.
Can you share like some ways that you feel like you're able to like find, I hate the word balance. I was actually talking about it on my Instagram today, like because I think everyone's like version of balance is like different. But can you share some ways that like, how are you allowing yourself to like do your gym and have your slow mornings and like take time off for family? Because I just talk to so many estheticians who have a hard time, even though they're working for themselves.
Because people don't have boundaries. They
Yes.
can't say no. And I am the boundary queen. I'm like, okay, like I don't take clients on Wednesdays. Like today, it's my day off. So my husband and I ran some errands. It was great. It was chill because I know I need that to like what is it, recharge, and so I can give the best of myself to my clients, and so I understand I need to do that for myself to give the best energy to other people, and also like online too. If I'm not like going to get my nails done, getting my hair done, getting facials, treating myself, going shopping, like doing things that make me happy, I'm not going to come off as a happy, joyful person, because I'm just like working myself to death. And that's not the point of owning your own business. It's so that you can live your life and then also happen to have a really fun, cool career. So for me, it definitely was boundaries. So when I talk to a lot of estheticians, I notice that they'll just have their entire schedule open, right? So
Mm-hmm.
from 8 to 8, every
Mm-hmm.
single day, all week. Okay, I'm completely open 12 hours a day. We'll see who wants to book. We'll see what
Yeah,
trends. That's a problem. You need to, from the get go, create your dream schedule right away. And that is exactly what I did when I started. I didn't know if people were going to book. I don't know if I was going to be booked galore. I had no idea what was going to happen, but I was going to make my dream schedule from the get go. And so that was
mm-hmm.
only working 4 days a week. And I think I'm open for like 20 hours, if that. I mean, it's not even full time. Um, and so it's nice because I know like these are the days that I have off. And then if I have clients ask, like, can I come on Saturday? Because I don't work on weekends, which is
Okay.
crazy in this industry, but
I love that
you know,
though for you. I
because
love
I
that
like
you
my
did
weekends.
because you set your boundaries from the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. And the second that you say, you know what, I don't work Saturdays, but I'll get you in, that
Uh-huh.
you're screwed. You are
And we're all
literally
like
screwed.
estheticians are such suckers for doing that. Like
I
coming
know.
from like I did that for years,
Hmm.
years because
Well,
we wanted
because
to
you're
care.
looking at the money. You are. I mean,
Of
that's the
course.
honest truth of, okay, they're wanting to book my Genie Hydrofacial, which is 355. It's an hour and a half treatment, and then they need a product restock. I'm going to be out the door making $500 in less than 2 hours.
Yeah,
Dang, that sounds really freaking awesome. But then maybe your husband wanted to go on a date night with you, and that's way more meaningful than that quick buck. And so for me, I just prioritize having a life outside of aesthetics.
for sure. I think it's super important. You have to. I was talking about that on my Instagram today too. It's like I'm like, you have to have other things outside of your work. And so many people are like, but I love my work. And I'm like, you should. That's so amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. But you have to have other things because it's not if you're going to burn out, it's when. Like, even if you're so obsessed, you will eventually burn out. It might take a long time. Like, it took me 10 years to burn out, but it happened.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
the thing, is you don't want to be flustered and it's back to back and you're stressed and blah 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 blah, all that. And also, you know what, you have to think about your clients on the receiving end too. I just think
Yeah.
about my boss, bless her heart. I hope she's changed this for herself. Miss Girl, she was booked 12 hydrofacials a day, like long, like the dermaplaning, like the whole Mac Daddy treatment. Okay. She has like 10 to 12 booked every day. And she's running in the door and flustered and super rushed and whatever. And I feel like your client can feel that as
Of
well if
course.
like it's back to back to back. And I don't want my clients to feel like they're just another number. It's like, we're homies, we're besties. Like, your son's having a football game, I'm coming. Like, let's go, you
I
know?
love that. Yeah, no, I think it's like there's energy transfer, right? And if you're stressed out, your clients are going to feel that. And then there's so many people it's like, "Well, why isn't my client returning?" It's like, "Well, have you checked your energy? Like are you taking care of yourself or are you just like stressing out and putting it on them?" Because
Or
that's a
like, why
huge
are they
thing.
not buying products from me? It's because that trust is not there.
Yeah,
So when
or
my
they're
clients
rushing
come in,
through.
yes, yes, they're rushing through, they're not taking their time. And so like when my clients come in, it's like, I know your dog's name. Like, I remember the trip you went on last month. I'm asking you how
Yes.
that went. It's like, and they feel special because they're like, "Oh, I didn't think that you would, remember that." And it's like, of course I remember that. And the only reason why I do is because I limit my schedule. Also, limiting your schedule makes you seem more desirable. So you can get more bookings that way too. So
100%.
it's just all interconnected.
I love it. Okay, back to virtual esthetician because I feel like we're going on a tangent. Which I
Oh
love.
no.
No, 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 like, okay, so back to the virtual esthetician because I think, again, like, people need to understand, like, this is the future. It's not going away. There's so much extra revenue to make. There's so much more freedom you can have in your schedule. That's what we're talking about right now. So, and obviously, like, for you, you're virtual esthetician, like, you're selling products, right? And I think a lot of people are steering clear of that because they're uncomfortable with selling product or they're
Hmm.
scared to build a website. So, like, if I was one of your people that you're mentoring and I'm like, I'm scared of selling and like, I don't know how to make a website, like, what would you tell me?
Well, it's a loaded question. I could talk about sales for a million days at a time. So there's two kind of questions in that one. Let's talk about the selling first.
Okay.
So how I like to look at it is I ask myself, I'm like, why am I tripping up about selling someone something? Like, why am I afraid to ask
Mm,
them, like, oh, what do you think about this SPF? Is this something that you want? Why am I afraid to ask them? It's because I'm afraid I'm going to sound like a car salesman. I'm
mm,
scared I'm going to be snaky or
mm-hmm.
inauthentic. Like, that's usually what the fear is, because that's the first
100%.
thing you have to identify is like, where's this stemming from? Like, why am I so freaking scared? And then the second thing you have to realize is it's really not that deep. And like, you're thinking about the worst case scenario right now, that they're
Of
going to think
course.
that you're a snake and cuss you out and that you're the worst person ever. No, like that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
The fact that they are in your treatment room in the first place is, like I was talking about earlier, half the battle. They were
Yeah.
probably working up the courage for months to years. I've had people that are literally like, I've been following you for 3 years and then I finally came in. I'm like, what the heck are you like, what? And
Takes
like they
time for some
finally,
people.
yeah, and it's because they're sick of their skin and they need a solution. So, solution is what we're
Yeah.
going to talk about. When you go to the doctor because you're sick as a dog, what do you want? You want medicine, you want a solution. If you go to a physical therapist because you wrecked your ankle, you want them to show you exercises to do. What's my plan? Give me my solution. If you go to a nutritionist because you want to lose weight or something, they're giving you a treatment plan, they're giving you supplements, they're making the recommendations. You want it as a client because you have no idea what you're doing and you need an expert's knowledge and education to give you the results you want. It's the same exact thing with an esthetician. I mean, these derms over here are not afraid to recommend that Accutane. Here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm desperate.
I
I have
know.
acne. I need it. I'm buying it because that apparently is my solution. It's literally the same exact thing with an esthetician. You're asking for a solution. You have this pigment. Okay, let's get you on a regimen for pigmentation. This is what you need. And they'll buy it. Like, why are you guys freaking out about it? They just want to be told what to do. And they really respect that. And you have to also remember you spent thousands and thousands of dollars on your schooling and you continue to invest time and money into your continuing education. And so, yeah, it's like, don't feel bad about making these recommendations and
Yeah.
educating your client because
Don't
it's
feel
necessary.
bad. Don't feel bad, right?
Mhm.
Like you're here to help these people. You're not a creepy salesman.
Well, and like the worst, really worst case scenario, if you want to be realistic and talk about anxiety here, worst case scenario is they're going to say no, and the
And there's
world
nothing
is
wrong with
not
that.
going to crumble. The
Yeah.
world, it's fine.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So, but you don't know until you try, and people really respect when you're just upfront and confident. Like people can feel that confidence. So don't hesitate, girl. It's just money. It's whatever. People prioritize what they spend their money on, and they will
Yeah.
literally do whatever it takes to get what they need.
For sure. And do you feel like most of the time when you're doing like a virtual consult, like these clients are purchasing product and then they're going back on the website when they need to like do a refill? Are you doing like a follow up with them? Like take me through that a little bit.
I could be better at doing follow-ups. I'm going to be
Okay.
completely honest. I think because I have so many clients, it's kind of like I tell them that door is open. If you have questions or if you need a restock or whatever, like reach out to me. It is not an inconvenience. It's not annoying if you're shooting me a DM or whatever. I'm super responsive that way. So I kind of leave it up to them because I
I think
can't
that's
babysit
fine.
you and make
Yeah.
sure you're double cleansing every night. It's
You're a
like
busy girl.
yeah, I can only do so much. So, like, yes, I want to keep in touch, but like, that's kind of on you to initiate that conversation. Usually, I will do a quick, so, okay, virtual consult wise,
Yeah.
let's say they do their consult today. I'll
Okay.
usually pre book them for a follow up, just quick, like 10-minute call 8 weeks from now, just to
Okay.
make sure, like, how's the purging going? Any irritation? Any questions? And then from there, I tell them, text me if you have questions when you need restocks and stuff, and then we'll get you squared away.
Amazing. Would you say most people are texting you or DMing you for a restock or are they going straight to your website?
Usually straight to my website because I post about it every single day and they
Right.
all are following me. And so
Yeah.
it's just that convenient, like, oh, actually, I remember I needed a restock of that. So, and with you asking earlier of when I get them on that initial regimen, like, are they
Mhm.
buying it?
Mhm.
Yes. My
Okay.
top selling product is a $250 hyaluronic acid serum. So
Amazing.
they're buying it.
They're buying it, they're using it, they're rebuying it,
Yep.
and then they're booking a call if they feel like they need, like, more, skin coaching, mostly. Okay.
Absolutely.
Amazing. I mean, that in itself, it's like you don't even have to be in the treatment room if you don't want to.
Nope.
And
It's
then
the
are
best.
right, and then so would you say, like, can you give me, and it doesn't have to be exact, like, percentage-wise, like, how many clients are you seeing virtually, and then how many are you seeing in person?
Like, just consults or like facials versus everything?
Facials versus, like, people are buying skincare, like, not mentorship.
I would say like 20/80. Like 20% of the clients are getting facials,
Okay.
and but if you're combining, because I have like a lot of clients that will come in for maintenance facials, like more quarterly,
Okay.
but then they're really consistent with buying products. I'm not
Love
like
that.
counting them as a
Yeah.
facial client.
Yeah.
So people that are like every 4 weeks they're in my door getting a hydrofacial, probably like 20%, but the rest is all
Virtual.
website consults, repurchasing, all that.
And would you say, like, most people, like, are in Utah, or they're, like, it's like, all over
No,
US?
majority of them are actually outside of state.
I love that. And then where do you feel like they're finding you? Is it through your social media? Is it your website?
Through Instagram for
Yeah.
sure. So like, I mean, here's a little mistake that I made, that this is a lesson I learned this year, was you
Okay.
definitely want to have multiple avenues of
Yeah.
social media. What word am I looking for? I don't
Like,
know.
streams of social media, like, you want not just Instagram, right?
Yeah, yes, because you need like an insurance policy here of
Totally.
like how other people can get a hold of you. So I really only had Instagram, and
Okay.
then this past year I started TikTok, and TikTok is like honestly such a piece of cake, guys. You can literally post an 8-second clip and it's like so easy. I treat TikTok very casually. I just
Same.
post because the algorithm's rigged. It's like you don't know what is going to go viral and what will not. So
Totally.
I just do what I want with
Yeah.
TikTok. It's no rhyme or reason. Instagram, there's definitely more intention, but then I
Yeah.
have Google reviews, which that has helped a lot with bringing like in-person locals
Yeah.
in the door. And then what am I missing here? My website, but people don't really find me from my website. It's usually they find me on Instagram first and then like my website's there.
Okay. So you would say your main, like, streams of social media, ways that people yeah, I'm like, I can't think of a word either. Ways
I
people
forget the word.
can find you virtually or in person is Instagram, TikTok, and your Google reviews.
Yes, but Instagram's hands down number one, and that's like the
That
number one
makes
app right
sense.
now anyway.
Well, and
So
that makes sense because you're putting the most energy into that, right? So it's like the energy you're putting in is the energy that you're gonna get back.
and I love this is I ask all of my calls that I do, how do you get a lot of your clients? Like how do people find you? Because it's just so intriguing because everyone has a different answer. Like I talked to a girl one time that she got a majority of her clients, and it was a good thing, from
Mhm.
Groupon. And she was in a small town like in Washington, and like literally full books, good clients from Groupon. Like that's how people found her. Or like some people, they'll get people from like bringing influencers into their space, or like collaborations or giveaways, and then there's the social media or word of mouth. Like there's so many different ways to bring clients into your door, but honestly Instagram is such a powerful tool, and I'm just trying to get people to be less scared of it.
Yeah,
And it's like it's not that deep, guys. Like you can
it's
be
not
authentically yourself. People, they want to know you and like get to, I don't know, it's just really cool. Instagram's awesome.
amazing. Anything else that you wanna share with the audience about being a virtual esthetician? Like, I'm trying to think, like, any last words, Macy?
Well, I didn't really touch on the importance of a website. I just said that it's awesome and I recommend it. So, actually, my number one regret in my business was not starting my website sooner. So,
Mm,
if you're really trying to hone in on selling retail, sure, you can have your Glymed link, you can have all these different links, but then you have to pay for $10 shipping on each link. But you want to like cherry pick and recommend the specific regimen to someone. Oh, wait, you got to click 5 different links, and like no one is going to do that. I wouldn't
no,
even do that.
no.
People want like just quick we live in Amazon Prime day and age. Like they just want that convenience. And so having a website makes it so that everything is in one place. And it's also a lot more organized for you as well on the receiving end of like, here's their address, here's what they got. Like before I was sending freaking invoices using my Apple Notes, like the most ghetto way to navigate online orders. It worked, but like it was not good. So finally I invested in a website, and websites are not cheap, guys. I mean, they're in the thousands. It's an investment that you have to make in your business. But when you make money in your sleep and you literally go to bed and you see that you got 3 orders and made $1,000 while you were sleeping, that's pretty freaking cool.
It is. Okay, 2 questions. Number
Yeah.
1, did you build your own website or did you have someone build it for you?
My best friend Maddie, so actually the girl that I was talking about earlier that went
Yeah.
to your place when you were doing like facials and stuff.
I remember
She,
her now that, like, you're talking.
do
I'm like,
you?
yes, I remember her. She has brown hair, right?
Oh, what?
She has brown hair, right?
She is like dark, yeah,
Dark
really
hair.
dark.
Okay, okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so anyways, Miss Girl is jack of all trades. She owns a spray tan business, and then she worked for a tech company for a long time, and she has a really good eye for that creative like website design and all of that. And so I was actually her first like website client, I guess.
Amazing.
So she made mine, and it's been awesome because she makes a ton of specifically for estheticians, a
Mhm.
lot of websites for them. It's just like happened that way for her. So she did mine. And what I love so much about it is I only spent around like 1,000 all
That's
said and
amazing.
done for my website
Yeah.
because I was reaching out to people that, do them
It
professionally and have done them for years. And it's like
yeah.
7 grand. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I mean, the price range is all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so good to know. And then, my second question is the products that you're shipping out from, are you shipping them out yourself from the website?
I
So
should
are you
probably like hire an assistant, but yeah.
right, but I meant like you have you probably should, but you you have them in person and then you're shipping them out yourself daily.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You should see
Okay,
my guest room next door. It's
I
literally
get it.
boxes galore.
I get it. Haley and I used to ship out 500 packages a month and it was insane, so I get it.
Oh my, yes.
I get it. But that's great. It's a great way to start until you can hire an assistant or figure out what's next, and that's the exciting part.
Yeah, because it's like, do I want the overhead right now with me? It's hard to feel motivated to expand when a majority of your business is virtual because you have to ask yourself, is it worth the overhead and like the pain of getting the storefront, getting all this licensing, and it's just like the next big thing. But also, that's opening up a door for growth in other ways. And like that's something that I have to acknowledge is like, well, once I have a storefront, maybe I could rent out the rooms to other people and make revenue that way, or I can bring on more machines that I've been wanting. It's like it's growth in lots of ways and it's a good thing. So
For
for now,
sure.
we got the guest room. She's
Honestly,
coming in clutch.
it's the way to go in my personal opinion from someone having a storefront and employees and renters and all of the overhead and then going back to kind of like how you're working and living, which is like much more virtual, working
Yeah,
solo. Like I've done all that and people or like the internet glamorizes like having a storefront, and don't get me wrong, like it's such an amazing accomplishment and some people like are born to do it and thrive, but it is a whole like other thing. Like we wouldn't both be like chilling in our offices today. We'd be like at the storefront
I
managing all these
know.
people. It's a lot. So
I
that's
know.
why I think the virtual esthetician, like more people need to lean into that because there's a want, there's a need, there's like Macy's making money while she's sleeping, and so many people want that. So congratulations for everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
Can you share with everyone where they can find you on your social media and if they're interested in having like a mentorship call with you?
Absolutely. So I'm Faced by Mace. I have a stupid period in the middle of my Instagram name, but if you look me up, just look for the neon colors and you'll find me. I actually just got my name trademarked, so hopefully that's going to change
Congratulations.
soon. Thank you. But so I have Faced by Mace as my Instagram, and then you literally can DM me. I'm super responsive. I'm not going to
She
ignore
is,
you.
guys.
People are always very like, "Oh, I never thought you'd see this." I'm like, "Of course, I'm on my
It's your
phone
job.
literally all day."
It's your job, right?
I get my, oh my gosh, I'm actually curious to know yours too. You know,
Uh-huh.
when you get your weekly phone usage every Sunday?
I try not to look at mine.
Mine is, I'm
Tell
not
me,
kidding,
tell me, tell me.
13 hours a day.
Stop. But you're posting constantly, like
Oh man.
constant. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a lot.
you are like the true meeting of a virtual esthetician, like honestly.
People are like, how do you do it all? I'm like, dude, I just like it. I don't know. It
You
just
love
happens for
it.
me.
You love it,
Yeah,
and I think that's great. Lean into that, keep doing it. Congratulations on everything. Thank you again
thank
for
you.
joining me. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
it was a pleasure. I'm wondering how we should end off because you started with a tarot card. Do you usually end
Mm.
off with something
I
spicy that you do?
I don't because I'm like just, re-diving into like having guests on here.
What?
What should we do?
Uh,
Do you want me to redo another tarot card?
I
Should we
don't
have
know.
it?
I kind of want to like do something cheesy. Like, what's your favorite quote? I don't know.
Do you have a favorite quote?
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
of course. I don't have a
Yes.
favorite quote. Okay, tell me yours.
Okay. Well, when I say mine, it'll give you time to think about it.
Okay, okay.
So, my favorite quote is people are going to talk about you no matter what, so you might as well do what brings you joy and live your best life.
I
That's
love
my favorite
that.
quote.
I love
Hmm.
that.
Or like what's your favorite word? Like do you have a favorite word?
I mean, I'm looking at my like vision board right here and it
Okay.
says the dancing queen. So I would say queen is my favorite word because I used to call myself like the cold roller queen. I am a dancing queen. So we'll
I love
say
that.
yeah.
Can you shuffle? Like Dancing Queen, like can you
Like
shuffle?
a little bit, but not
Oh,
great. Can you?
heck no. I'm the most uncoordinated human. I cannot. No.
But you obviously go out there and dance.
Well, like I can headbang, but that doesn't count as a dance move, right?
Of course it doesn't. I mean, in my opinion, I think that's a dance move.
It
I
requires
think in that
rhythm.
community, that is a dance move. Or maybe I don't know. Or is it
Yeah.
like too cool? Like you're just a headbanger.
I don't know. It definitely requires skill though, because when I was in Vegas, funny
Yeah.
enough,
Yeah.
I went to Elenium and I'm with club people. Like club people just
Yeah.
don't get it.
Different
Like
vibe than ravers.
they do not get like plur, like they just don't
I
understand it.
know.
So like there was this guy that it was just like I was just with a group of people and it was fun. And there was this guy that I like grabbed his hand to like headbang with him and it was oh my gosh, it was so bad. It was so off. Like
Was he like,
he
what are you doing?
he had no, he was trying to do it, but it was so like not right. Like it was so off rhythm. And then I found this guy, total wook, like wearing a freaking pash. I'm like, I just know this guy is like my man. I'm like, get over here. And he did it and I showed him how
Okay.
to do it. I'm like, bro, no. So I just learned don't do that at a club. People are not there to
Not a
headbang.
Vegas club. Wait, so guys, if you don't know, Macy and I have bonded over that we're both ravers, right? Would you consider yourself a raver? We like
I don't
dance
like go
music.
every
Well,
weekend,
no, me either. Well, I go a
but
lot.
oh, you do. I want to go. I would love to go more, but like, and I definitely like. I have the braids, like the whole nine
Yeah.
yards. But like, no, yeah, maybe I am. Yeah, I am.
I mean, you can call yourself whatever you want. I claimed being a raver once I went to EDC a few years ago, and that
I'm
like
dying to
changed.
go.
You have to go if you're
I
like
know.
into that music. But yeah, okay, maybe we're not ravers. We're just bonded over EDM. We can call it
We
whatever.
just bonded
Call
over
whatever.
music.
Yeah, we bonded over music. Even though we
Yeah.
have like, we don't listen to all the same music, but we can agree on a lot of things. But
Hmm.
one of them being that like a club in Vegas is not the full vibe. It's just
I like.
not.
I
Like I'm a
think about
festival
it.
girl.
It keeps me up at night. I won't lie.
Yeah,
I'm like
Vegas is
that.
not
That
it.
was not. I mean, I loved the performance. Like
Of
I was
course.
dead. I
It's
was
the
so
crowd.
sad
It's
after.
the crowd.
It
If you
was the
know,
crowd.
if you know, you know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. But I'm manifesting this next year that Casey will come along with me
Yes, of course.
because you bet your bottom dollar I will be in Vegas next year. Can't wait to meet all of you guys.
Same, same. I will be there. I don't know in what capacity. I'm trying to figure that out, but you will find me and Macy at a show.
Yes,
Let us know if you want
ma'am.
to join us.
Oh yeah, and also, so I have a product fave I want to share with you guys. They are Casey's towels.
Oh,
I've
thank
used
you.
them since day one. My boss actually introduced me to those towels. I've never used any other towels, and I'm
Appreciate
obsessed
it.
with them. So
Thank
if you
you.
guys are looking for the best towels for your treatment room, Casey's your girl.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
They're so good.
You're so good. Thank you again for
Thank you.
doing this. I really appreciate it.
Hopefully it didn't go way over time. I don't know if you do these quick little guys, but they never go quick with me.
I knew we were gonna be talking for a while. I just had a
Yeah.
feeling. That's why I was
Yeah.
like, that's why I sent you this link instead of a Zoom. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah, because I'm like, I need time.
Well, I'm proud of you for getting back in your groove of podcasting because I tried
Thanks.
it and I ditched it because